Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a tutorial and a review and swatches of the new Kylie Royal Peach palette. So this literally just came out on Thursday. Today is Saturday. I just got it in the mail and I absolutely was so excited and I wanted to film with it right away. I'm going to be doing my review and then some swatches, and then I'm also going to show you how to get this eye look using this palette. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. First of all, the palette looks like this. It comes in this box and this is actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's pretty large, like in comparison to like her other palette. This is the Burgundy palette. It's like really big in comparison to the like Sweet Peach palette, which I will get into later. This is like how big it is as well. So it is pretty big, but it does feel like really sturdy. It's a very hard cardboard packaging. It doesn't feel like this cardboard, even though it might be the same, but it definitely feels a lot sturdier. This is what this palette looks like. It has a very good size mirror in here. It also comes with a blending brush. This brush actually reminds me a lot of the MAC 217 or a Morphe M433. Spoiler alert before I get into like the video or anything, this brush is actually really good. I used it today and I really liked it. Like I said, this is what the palette looks like. It just says Kylie, and then on the back it just has the names and everything. It's weird because it doesn't say like the Royal Peach palette or whatever, like how the back of the Burgundy palette says the Burgundy palette. So that's kind of weird. I just noticed that. It comes with 12 shadows. These are them right here. This palette retails for $45 with shipping and tax. Actually, shipping was free. Shipping is free over $40. So everything together was $48 something around that area. I think is a really good price for the amount of shadows and a brush too. The only beef that I have is, and I'm sure other people are going to say the same thing, this palette is $42 and it doesn't come with a mirror or a brush or anything, and this is $45. And this palette only comes with 9 eyeshadows and this one comes with 12. So the only thing that I'm mad at is that I paid $42 for this one and $45 for this one, and I think at the time that the Burgundy palette came out, it didn't have free shipping over $40 in the US. So this ended up being $54 with tax, and it just doesn't make sense to me. That's the only beef that I have with that. Other than that, I think the price of this is really good. Let me get into the shades. So I had a really good experience with the matte shades in here. Now, when it comes to the shimmers, some of them aren't very pigmented. And I'm sure some of you guys are shocked because I always get the, you always are so biased when it comes to Kylie, or Kylie like sponsors you, or oh, Kylie this and kind of that. Kylie, let me just say this right now, Kylie does not sponsor my videos. Like, Kylie doesn't even know who the hell I am. She doesn't know I make these videos, nothing. And I always get the comments like, how did you get your palette so fast? And how did you get your stuff so fast? I live in LA, I don't know. Maybe it goes by like people who order first, because I'm always like on it when I buy this stuff, so I don't know. So, honestly, the shimmers in here aren't that great. This one right here, which is, I always get confused with this, Duchess, I think. This one is really pigmented. This shade up here called Duke is really pigmented, and Seashell, but I did have a problem with Mojito, North Star, and this one up here, which is Seashell, which is actually what I have on my lid. I did have to use MAC Fix Plus to wet it to get it to be as shimmery as it is. I feel like this is a reoccurring thing in her palettes, that the shimmers aren't very metallic, and that's fine. I understand that. Like, I understand that not every shimmery eyeshadow has to be like a foiled eyeshadow from like Makeup Geek, but they just were a little bit harder. Like the I don't know how to explain it. Like the formula feels a little bit different. Like it's harder. I just don't know how to explain it. Like I can like rub my finger in it and it still like isn't extremely pigmented, and usually if I'm like rubbing hard enough in like a shimmery eyeshadow, it'll look even more metallic than it actually is. I picked it up with a brush just to kind of see it was not that pigmented. This one is a little bit pigmented, but it's it's just a shimmery eyeshadow, so not anything that like wows me, which is fine because honestly I don't see myself using these two colors that often anyway. But with that being said, the mattes in here are extremely good. I absolutely love the mattes in here. They blended out so seamlessly, they blended so nicely. They are a buttery creamy formula, so I think she does really well with the mattes. I think it's a really good palette. I think you get a lot for the price that you pay, especially since it comes with a brush, which is actually a really good brush. Let me show you in comparison to like a Morphe M433, which is a brush that I use all the time. They look very similar and it feels really similar too. This is like the side of it, almost the same kind of shape. I think this one is a little bit fluffier, which I actually prefer. I used it today and it worked perfectly fine. I definitely can see myself using this brush a lot. So I wanted to include this in here as well because I know I'm gonna get asked. Comparison between this palette and the Too Faced Sweet Peach. Now, as you guys know, I love the Sweet Peach palette, but in my honest opinion, even though I love this palette so much and I think it's a great palette, there isn't that many peach shades in the Sweet Peach palette. There's just these two and that's it. And there's a lot of purples and a lot of browns, which I thought was weird. Even when I first got this palette, I thought it was weird that there wasn't too many peach shades in the Sweet Peach palette. But you do get more shades in this palette. You get 18 and this one is 49. You get 12 in this one and this one is 45, but you also get a brush. In this one, you do have more peach shades and I feel like these all complement each other a little bit more than the shades in the Sweet Peach palette. These shades right here are all very peachy toned. This one's like a warm brown, but I feel like it goes perfectly with the peach colors to kind of deepen it up, but still be able to keep the peach color on your eyes. This shade complements the peaches really well. I like purple and peach together, so I think that goes really good too. And this like yellow gold, I know somebody wore this shade in like their inner corner, a very popular YouTuber, and I thought it looked really good. There's some like golds and bronzes in here, so I feel like all of these shades complement each other very well. As in the Too Faced Sweet Peach, they do complement each other, but there's only like one true peach shade in here. I say that this one is a little bit more peachy, but it's more pink to me. And the only true peach in the palette is Candied Peach. You do want a palette that has peach tones in it. I definitely would say get this one. I still love this palette because I can wear it and do so many looks with it, but they're all kind of warm brown looks with it, and sometimes I can make it a little bit more peachy with Candied Peach. And I never use the purple shadows in here because they're a very weird purple and they're almost too dark to where you can't even see that it's purple anymore. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I don't think that they're similar at all. I can understand why people would think they are because of the name, but I honestly don't think that they're similar at all. If you want something with more peachier tones, I definitely would recommend to pick this palette up because I feel like you would get more out of it than this one. Go ahead and do some swatches for you guys. So I'm gonna start off with this shade right here, which is Sorbet. And this is like my favorite shade in the palette. I think it's a perfect transition color. It reminds me so much of Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek. It feels extremely creamy and buttery. It's very pigmented. I loved this shade when I was using it today. That's it right there. This right here is Sorbet. It's a little bit harder to see on my arm just because this is like a transition color for me. Also wanted to mention I didn't have like very much fallout at all with this palette, so that's always really nice too. Here is called Seashell. And this is like a very like peachy, champagne-y kind of color. Next shade in here is called Peachy, and it's just a matte peach shade. Next shade is this one right here called Royal. It's just a very matte cobalt blue color. This one also feels very creamy and pigmented. By the way, I don't have any primer, lotion, anything on my arm or on my fingers. I just have dry skin. This one right here is called Queen Bee. This shade is actually really pretty. And it's just like a really nice gold, which I think is great to have in this palette. On the top row is called Duke. And this one actually is really creamy and pigmented. So starting on the bottom row, this first one right here is called Duchess, and it's like a very bronze color. And this one is one of the ones that I think is very pigmented. Next one in the bottom row is called Sandy, a neutral matte brown. This is also a really good transition color if you don't want to use something peachy. This next one right here is called Mojito. This was the one that I had problems with. It might swatch really nice, but I don't know. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just like not that pigmented. I honestly thought it was going to be more green, but it's more yellow. This next one right here is called North Star, and this is a shimmery lavender color. That would be a really pretty inner corner highlight if you wanted to do something fun, but it's not like extremely pigmented. The second to last one right here is called Crush, and I love this color. I have it all in my crease. And this one blended out really well. And last but not least, this is Cinnamon, which I also really liked too. It's very creamy, very buttery. That perfect like warm brown that I think a lot of palettes need to have because it really pulls a look together. Here are the swatches up close. Alright guys, so that was my thoughts and little review on the new Kylie Royal Peach palette. I think I covered everything that I could. If I forgot anything that you guys still have questions about, leave me comments down below and I will try my best to answer them. But anyways, I did do this eye look for you guys using the palette today, so if you guys want to see how to get this look, then just keep watching. Alright guys, so we are starting off with the brand new Kylie Royal Peach palette, and I'm taking this first shade right here called Sorbet, and I'm putting this in my crease and using this as my first transition color. Now I'm taking the shade called Peachy, and I'm just going to put that in my crease as well and blend those two shades together. I'm taking this shade right here called Crush, and I'm putting this in my crease, and this is going to deepen it up a little bit and add a little bit more peach to the look. Now I'm taking the shade called Cinnamon, and this is actually the brush that came with the palette, which is really good. I'm putting this in the outer corner and then slightly into the crease. And then I just went back with Crush because I felt like I lost that color a little bit. Now I'm taking the shade called Seashell, and I sprayed my brush with Fix Plus first, and then I went into the shade just to intensify it a little bit because it wasn't like super intense to begin with. So this is just going to make it a little bit more pigmented and more metallic. Then I'm taking Duchess with the same brush. I didn't spray Fix Plus with it or anything. I'm just adding this to like the outer corner and kind of towards the center just because I wanted some gold to the look. And then I'm going back with Seashell to blend the two shades together, and I did spray my brush with Fix Plus again just to intensify it once more. So I'm taking Makeup Geek's eyeliner pencil in the shade Cobalt, and I'm putting that in my waterline, and then I'm going to take the shade Royal from the palette, and I'm just going to smudge that along my lower lash line closest to my waterline. Now I'm going back with Peachy, and I'm just going to put that on my lower lash line to blend out the Royal color, and then I'm going in with Crush and Cinnamon to blend that out. And now I'm just adding some mascara to my top and bottom lashes. This is the Tarte Tarteist mascara, and then I'm going to add some lashes on top of that. I'm using Koko lashes in the style Goddess. And for my lips today, I'm using Colourpop's Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Speed Dial. And since I did the rest of my face off camera, I will leave details on this look down in the description box. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys liked it. I actually love how this look came out. If you guys did like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.